So welcome back with Happy Chappy. So this is frequencies. So got thinking about years ago when you go clubbing and to any music, even just out being happy in music, what you would find is everyone was enjoying life to the fullest. But once you've switched off that frequency, everyone got irritated. They didn't want it to stop. And then whatever was taken, like alcohol or anything else that was consumed during that time, when they would come back to the natural state, coming into the fresh air, you would get disruption. They would always end up in some placement of action being taken in some form or another by these people where they become criminal. And there it would produce police officers to come along and kept that cycle of the system going. So it all starts with the frequency, the music that's being played. And over the years, we've learned that there's a particular frequency that is played that keeps us in a placement of negativity. So we may be listening to the music, but what you may find afterwards when you turn it off that you feel a bit crappy about yourself. Or maybe you're on the mobile device and you're on it for ages and you come off it and you feel drained. Or if you're watching TV or anything electronic, you may find it, if you're aware of yourself, that you may feel drained from it. And that's due to the frequency that's coming off it. And so I looked into frequencies. I was looking into the Rothschilds, but I only took a quick look because I remember hearing they changed the frequency to a certain frequency some years ago. Can't recall. But when I looked it up, it wasn't based on the Rothschilds' doings. But I do recall years ago the Rothschilds had apparently changed the frequency and could have the frequency changed to a state where it would actually help the people. But if that was to happen, now think of it. You're in the club, dancing, enjoying life, the music stops, and people are still enjoying life. And they go home and they enjoy life. Well, would you need to be consuming as much as was consumed in these times? Would you need police officers? Would you need law enforcement? When everyone would be loving and caring and happy in who they are? You wouldn't, would you? So why would you change the frequency if you run it all and all precisions is making you money? I'm just saying the Rothschilds were there. Now this brought me to Liverpool when looking the UK, as everything device I have, it's located in Liverpool. I don't live anywhere near Liverpool. But I've got an operator or watcher over me from Liverpool who observes my phone, my devices. So to you, hi out there. And maybe you'll fucking learn to get the fuck away from the likes of my system. So this is just a wee AI search. in Liverpool and other places, control over radio frequencies, which are used to broadcast radio, TV, and other signals, is primarily handled by the National Energy System Operator, NESO, for electricity grid frequencies. Now, electricity grid frequencies. I think it was 2 videos ago I was talking about how they can scan us on the grid, the electricity grid. And so there we have it. And they're playing frequencies repeatedly to keep us confined in that electric system, as we are magnetic electrical fields ourselves. So they pick up and scan us in who we are, how we move, what we do, and in what frequency we are in, and toning down that frequency. So we are tuned into the grid. So we are manipulated by the grid. So when you have a device or playing something on a device, it will take your energy and you will feel drained from it. You go out to something like a concert or something, you give your energy away to that while listening to the music. Now, think about if they changed the frequency and everyone went out happy. We would be all equal. We would be all advancing to our highest ability. But yet, we aren't. We are in a frequency that we are observing people outside of us that we look at as idols, who are stealing our energy as we observe them like they're something better when they're just the same as you and I. But the more people is brought into their frequency and they play their music and we all tone in, they're sucking our energy away with their music, with that frequency that is being played. Now, personally, myself, I like to listen to different types of music, and I do hear the tones in the background. But I like to listen to the story and keep focus on that story while understanding the music, the frequency that's played in the background. So I'm deliberately aware of the two different vibrations, the tone of the music and the story that is being told, being my main focus. So I'm not caught up on the tone. As one time I used to find that I would listen to music and I wouldn't know what the fuck the song was about. I didn't have a fucking clue. Because I was listening to the vibration and I got sucked into the vibration and it felt good. But always afterwards, I felt like shit. But when I changed my way of viewing it and toning into or honing into the storyline, while being aware of the vibration of the frequency that was coming along with that, I was able to adapt myself to what was more important. And so seeing the connections in that alone, and yet I see the connections in the devices and how everything's related back to Liverpool. It only makes sense that we have a controlling system in the UK, in Liverpool, that controls the frequency, that controls your temperament in the grid. Now, you got to think about it. There's I look out the window here and there's electric poles straight away. There's many of them. No matter what direction I look in, I'll be seeing them because I'm inside the grid. And then you have Wi-Fi, a grid that you don't even see. Then you have the satellites that's above you, helping with all this grid. And you think that if you do anything, that you can get away with it and not be seen? You see, the system has always known. They've just let you play along in the system as they've watched and observed you in all that you do. Now, to take down the system could only be done from inside the system, because it's unknown to you. It's not seen. There's an illusion created in front of you, and a frequency played to keep you locked in to that illusion. And only if you're in the system would you normally see that, unless you're able to switch off from it, of course. Which a lot of people have learnt in the years that we've passed and came to, through the likes of spiritual ways. Understanding that the frequency that's played around us, we can recreate. We can change that frequency within us and disrupt the frequency that's surrounding us by tapping in to who we are and not tapping into what all is. As if we tap into what all is, like our mobile devices, and we get stuck into that, and that operates our life, well, then that takes us away from who we are. So what I'm saying is, in a shorter version, is to tap into you. Tap into the frequency that you're running on. Are you energetic? Are you drained? And why? What have you been doing to cause whatever way it is that you are feeling, that you are being? And learn to understand you and how everything around you affects you. So, with love and peace from Happy Chapper.